Today is July the 10th, 2022, and Johnny Dessel and I are out at the Goose Ranch. We are going to take a ride today on the bike trail. As you can see, the Echo Valley Environmental Nature Trail. And we're going to give this a whirl. Have fun, you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Bike ride.
Yeah, good talking with you.
I'm glad to see you coming up and having a good time.
Yeah.
That's the red one, though.
Oh, that's yours.
Yeah, it'd be all right if you rode it, but yours is too big for me. I can barely ride this.
We'll see you guys. That was three guys that we ran into here when we were getting our bikes ready to go. They're from Waterloo, and they came up. They'd never been to this area. Came up to do a little fishing. So very friendly, and they were very impressed with the area and caught some nice fish. So anyway, that's what that was all about. Okay, this is what they call the Echo Valley Environmental Trail. I think that's what it's called. It actually runs through Echo Valley Park, which was at one time a state park, and Johnny informs me now that it is a county park. So we're going to ride. It has a trail, what is that, 1.45 miles long, following an old railroad bed. And as you can see, it's crushed rock and dirt, but it's very, very nice surface for biking, and if you want to walk or jog, it would work also. This actual ride takes almost a half hour to go at a leisurely pace from where we embarked there at the Goose Ranch to the very end, which is actually the entrance to Echo Valley Park. It's a round trip of about 3 miles, and if you take it leisurely and stop a couple times to look at stuff, it'll run about 27, 28 minutes. But I'm just going to edit this down to about half that, just so you can see some of the highlights along the trail here. And I'll kind of narrate a little bit here. I hope I don't make you seasick with all this swinging from side to side, but I want to try to I do have a wide angle lens on my GoPro, and just kind of wanted to give you an idea of how beautiful it is out here. It's in the high 70s today. We had a rain here about an hour or two ago, so it's just a tad humid, not too bad, especially when you're riding. It isn't bothersome at all. So very nice day. Not many people out here, very few on the trail. As I mentioned, we had 3 guys there from Waterloo that had been up fishing. They were actually not in the park. They were kind of along. Well, I guess they were. Come to think of it, they did say they had been up a ways into the park on the Otter Creek. But my feeling is that a lot of these local trails here in West Union are underutilized. I do a lot of biking. I probably do more biking than locally around town than just about anybody else I can think of. And I rarely see people out on bicycles. I bike at the rec center in West Union, and then here at Echo Valley. Now we're coming up to the first of 3 bridges that you'll cross. So as you can see, yeah. Coming up here, Looks like we got a couple people fishing off the bridge and a fellow walking up there. Hi.
We think we own the bridge.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine. Beautiful out here.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to miss him. Oh. Yeah, I don't see you training them.
That is not thunder that you're hearing. It's a little bit of wind noise. But yeah, it's all done with the rain. And had a pretty good rain here, like I said, a couple hours ago. As you can see, parts of this trail are quite high. You certainly wouldn't want to ride off the edge. But the trail is, I would say, averages about between, depending on where you're at on the trail, anywhere from 7 to maybe 10 feet in width. Kind of just depends on where you're at. So on a bicycle, you'll be fine. On this GoPro, at times it probably looks to you like I'm about ready to go over the edge, but that's just the nature of that wide-angle lens. Path is very comfortable. Here we have the second bridge. This has a little metal cage over the top, and it probably looks like I'm going to hit my head, but I've got plenty of clearance here. If you look off to the right, you can see the old, I guess, the dam over there. We used to, as kids, we used to climb on it. I guess you can't see it anymore. It's pretty well torn down. But we spent a lot of time out here messing around. If you look through here, you can see some steps leading down. I think are we quite, maybe we're not quite that. You want to go up this and then we'll coast down and then we'll just come back. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there were steps off to the right. I guess it's kind of hard to see with all the foliage, but here, if you look down here, that path will lead down, way down to the old dam there where we used to play. This used to be a lake off to the right in here many years ago, but no longer. We're going up a little path. It's off the bike trail, but it leads up to what we call the shelter house and plenty of parking. So this is a good access here to the trail, to the bike trail, right up here. So you could park up here and unload your bike, and there's a couple ways to access the trail from up here. We just came up a small path, and then if you go down this road, if you just follow it straight, it will go out, it will leave the park, kind of turns around, kind of a big U-turn here way at the end. But right down here, there's a little bit of a crossroads. Off to the left, that's part of the trail we were just on. Off to the right here, yeah, down there is where we kind of missed that section. We'll go back on that section. And to the right here, that leads to the end of the trail. And we'll just go down there so you can see where the trail ends, the bike trail that is. And here's the third bridge. And just to remind you, this used to be a railroad track. When I was very young, we used to come out here, and it was railroad tracks, so we would walk these tracks along here. Local guy by the name of Dick Jensen has really put a lot of his own money into this park and has improved it a lot, and improved this bike trail. Now, looking down here off the other side of the bridge is kind of a parking area and a camp area. Off to the right, it's hard to see because of the trees, but that's where you drive into the park if you came in off of what they call Echo Valley Road. I'll go ahead and I'm going to ride down to the end here just to show you the very end of the trail. And right here to the left is another access to the trail, but it's up from the campground, and it's a little tricky. You got to climb up this. It's fairly steep hill. It's kind of hard to see, get your depth perception here on the video. But anyway, so that's another way to get on the trail. And here I'll just ride down here to the end of the trail. This leads up to the road that comes in from the Echo Valley Road, and I won't go all the way to the top, but this is pretty much the end of the trail right here. So I'll turn around, and Johnny and I will head back, and we'll be on that little part of the trail that we kind of bypassed when we walked off on that path up to the shelter house. But just so you can see that little stretch in there, then we're going back over that. This is the third bridge coming from the way we came, the Goose Ranch. Then we'll go up to the road here, go straight over the road, and ride on that little stretch just so you can see the entire path. And I think I probably mentioned, to the right there, that'll leave the park. And this main trail here is 1.45 miles one way, so round trip 2.9 miles. Right down here is where we left the trail and walked up to the shelter house area. Right down here, a little further. Yeah, right here. And here we'll continue back over the bridges. And I'm going to edit out a lot of this return trip here because you've already seen it one time. Here's the middle bridge of the three. And very beautiful. A lot of streams. I guess it's Otter Creek and Glover's Creek in the park here. And up here to the left is a little path. You can't see it very well, but it's a path I used to use when I was very young. It goes up on what we called the it's about in here. Hard to see, but it goes up on what we called the backbone of the park, and it's a high ridge, and off the ridge there are a lot of areas where you can crawl down the side, the bluffs. It's a lot of fun when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, but when you're in your 70s, you just want to pretty much stay on the bike path. But there are, besides the main trail here, there are some off-road, I guess you call them off-road paths that you can ride down. It goes into the park. They're not maintained like this. Here's the first bridge. But there's plenty stuff to do here for hikers and bikers. And as you saw at the beginning there was a little chain across there. I think that's to prevent people coming in on their motorized vehicles. So you won't see any of that along this area. But like I said, there are occasionally off to the side there are little paths, little dirt paths that lead down into the park and different areas. So there's a lot here, a lot to see. You know, if you like nature, a lot of critters are running around, birds. It was always a favorite spot for me as a kid growing up, coming out. You know, Echo Valley was the place to go. A lot of fun, and as an adult and a senior citizen, it's still a great place to go. So, highly recommend it. If you're a biker, or if you're a hiker, or if you live in West Union, take advantage of it. Like I say, I'm out here a lot. I rarely see people out on this path. It's amazing. Today is a Sunday, and beautiful weather. And as you can see, we ran into maybe those 3 kids from Waterloo and a couple people fishing off the bridge, and then there was a guy ahead of us that was kind of walking. So, you know, it should be a lot more people taking advantage of this. West Union also has a very nice park called the, what do they call it? The West Union Recreational Park, which has a nice path there too. And it's, you know, it's not like Decorah where you got a 16-mile bike path. It's more geared towards just the person that wants to go out, get a little exercise for a half hour or so, and get home again. So plenty to do here in West Union. If you want to stay fit, get a little exercise. So we're heading back here. We're getting close to where we entered the park at the what they call the Goose Ranch. There's my car down there. But as I said, I edited out quite a bit of this. Normally it would take about a half hour. Okay, 2.91 miles, 27 minutes.